Yeah, this is Bang Bang Rahal. Just finished a bit of a workout. Yeah, I was thinking about this little kid. Me, Leslie McIntyre, used to run around Gunsley Park nearly every day. We used to do like burpees, press-ups, leg thrusts, alternate leg thrusts, star jumps, jumping over the wall, holding onto the wall one side, going down, not touching the floor, jumping up the other side, keep going back and forwards, logs on our shoulders, doing squats and jumps and all this, that and the other, yeah. And anyway, we was doing this for ages, and this kid was on the push bike. We kept seeing him go around behind us, following us, and one day we stopped, and the kid came up to us and said, "Do you mind, look, he said, I've been watching you now for a couple of weeks training, do you mind if I join in?" He said, no, he was about 10, 11. I said, no problem, you can come with us and train. I said, where's your mum and dad? He said, no, my mum, I've told my mum I'm following you around the park. My mum said to ask you if I could train with you. I said, well, what's the problem? He said, no, there's not a problem, yeah. Anyway, the kid was with us for about 2 or 3 weeks, training every day, he never let us down, and he was really good, And we started putting the log on his back, to do little jumps and squats and all that, yeah, and twists and things, yeah. But taking it very light, light ones as well for him, yeah. And one day, his mum come over and she was talking to us. She's a really, really nice woman. She was a light-skinned woman, and the old man was Jamaican, yeah. But she came up to us and said, look, I hope you don't mind my son training with you. I said, no, it's good. I said, why don't he do some boxing? Why don't he go down the gym and all that? She said, well, what it is, he's a bit frightened at the minute. He's very weak, I said, well, he's not so weak, he trains really, really well. And she said, no, that he goes to Twyford, that's all we used to go to, me and Lizzie, and he's getting bullied there by some kids. And, and I said to him, you've got to start training. And he goes around the park on the bike and all that, and he see you, and he asked me, his mum, if it'd be okay if he asked us to train with him. So I said, yeah, of course. He said, no problem. I said, what do you mean he's being bullied? He said, well, there's 2 or 3 boys at school that are always bullying him, taking bits of money off him, taking his dinner off him, and he goes to the chip shop just outside the school. They take his chips, they take his sausages, his pies and things like that, and he's sick of being bullied. And we said, well, come, we'll go to the school and we'll have a talk to him. She said, no, I don't want that for my son. I don't want him to be muddy colours. I don't want people to talk to these people, She said, I want him to fight and fend for himself. I said, okay, anyway, so she's told us what's going on. He hasn't told us anything, so she's just told us what's going on. So now we're going to train him really hard and we get him on the pads. Leslie McIntyre, my friend, fantastic fighter, got him on the pads. And the kid was really putting him together, put it all really, really good, mate. He was a fantastic little fighter, for a kid that's never done it before. And we was getting him to do, Leslie was a welterweight. This kid was, he could have been, I don't know, a super lightweight, something like that. He was a tiny little kid. Anyway, and him and Les was going to amateur. Leslie taught him a lot in sparring. He was hitting him around the face a lot. Taught him a lot. Didn't whack him. Leslie's a turned pro. You know what I mean? Didn't whack him. He was just like touching his face, teaching him guard up, elbows in, and the kid was really, really learning. And one day I told him to get the gloves on with me. Got the gloves on with me and done a bit of training with me. Just hit him I see it in the face, he was really getting confident in his old self, yeah. And he was with us for about 3 months, training. And his mum came up to us and says, look, I said, what's going on now? How is he at school? She said, well, they're still bullying for his money and bits and pieces, but he's getting a little bit stronger now. He's getting a bit more confidence, in the way he is. I said, well, tell you what we're going to do. We're going to go to the school on one dinner time when he comes out. We're going to be there, yeah, but we're not going to get involved. We're just going to make him see that we're around, yeah. And we're going to push him forward for you, yeah. And we're going to push him forward. And anyway, He come out, but he come out. He was in the queue to get his fish and chips or pie and chips or sausage and chips, what he does in a fish and chip shop. Yeah? And he could see these kids out. These kids come out, and they was pushing him around a bit. And he was like, you could see he was really, really like eager to do something. Yeah. And when he turned around and see us there, it gave him a little bit of confidence. You know, made him feel, yeah, you know what I mean. And the one there was a bit of a bully. Yeah, he stood back. He said, come on in. He stood back and his guard, he had a proper guard on him. This kid must have been a bit, hold up, what's going on there? And he said, come on in. And I swear to God, mate, this young kid, he boxed this guy's head off, mate. He jabbed him, hit him, and it was fantastic to see it, you know. And then the other 2 or 3 kids there, they wanted to get involved. We said, oh, hold up, oi, let him fight, yeah? And he bashed this little kid up, this other little kid up, yeah? And then he said to these other kids, come on, one at a time. And he wanted it, and the kids, you could see there was a bit trash. There was more trash than us, I think, being there than anything. But we helped him in a way because the other kids didn't want to get involved. I suppose 3 or 4 kids on him, and he got bashed up again, yeah? But he stood his own. And about, a week later, we were training with him around the park. He come in, he had a few little cuts and bruises on his face and everything, and we said, what's happened? He said, well, I bashed up 2 of them, Ray, you know. He said, 2 of them set about me and I bashed them up, you know. He said, I took some good shots, they give me some good shots, but I give them some good shots too. Do you know what I mean? And we were so happy, me and Leslie, we were so pleased. And we trained him even harder then. I mean, we trained, pushed him. And he come down to London Transport, our gym, and he started training down there. And I forget, do you know what? His name was Michael, yeah? Do you know, I'm like for second names, isn't it? I'm really, really bad for second names. This kid, he was a light-skinned kid. And this kid, for us doing what we done to him, he come down the gym and he become a fantastic fighter. And he wound up going to Repton Boxing Club. He moved to Repton Boxing Club with his mum and dad. They moved, he went to Repton Boxing Clubs. And this kid won the ABAs there. You know what I mean? And it was only because of that. Mikey's second name, I can't remember his second name. This kid won the ABAs, you know. When we watched it, and George Whelan, my trainer, told me about this kid. He said he won the ABAs, you know. Couldn't believe it. I wasn't down at the Transport as such then. I'd been down there, I'd done my amateur days, but I used to go down and train a lot, so I training in the gym, yeah. And he told us about this kid. He said the kid won the ABAs. Fantastic. When you think about it, this kid was getting bullied at school. See me and Leslie running around the park, and he would follow us on a push bike. And then he asked us if he could train with us, and he started training. His mum told him what had happened. We trained that a little bit harder, got him on the pads, done a little bit of sparring with him, showed him the score, and then he bashed them kids up, giving him so much confidence. And then he come down to the London Transport Club, then he went to Repton and won the ABAs. I'm finding out his kid's name, mate. He's a fantastic little fighter, light-skinned kid, and he could really fight, mate. This kid could really, he's a fantastic boxer, mate. The ABAs, he pissed the ABAs. I think he turned pro, I'm not quite sure. I lost all contact. It's only because when I was training about an hour ago, I was training having to work out, and a few things, do you know when you're training, your mind comes back to things, what you should do. And I remember this kid, and I remember what me and Leslie done. And it wasn't so much me and Leslie, it's his own kid. He had his own purpose, yeah? He knew what he wanted to do, yeah? He knew he wanted to be able to protect himself. And from his being bullied as a child, as a kid, coming to us, and we're training him, and then he comes to the Transport, he boxes down there, wins lots of fights, and he goes to Repton. I think it was a better club for him to go to anyway, Repton, and won the ABAs. I don't know what weight he went when he won the ABAs. I think he could have been anything up from welterweight, you know, this kid become a good fighter. He could have been a middleweight, like me, I'm not quite sure. But fantastic fighter. I'd love to see him. Do you know, like, he must be what? I'm 71. He must be, what, in his 50s, 60s. But he won the ABAs, and it makes you feel good, doesn't it? You know what I mean? That we started him off as a little fighting, you know. He asked us, he wanted to train with us, and we trained him. It was really Leslie McIntyre, my mate, black mate, you know, that really pushed him more so than I did. Leslie was similar sort of like body weight. Leslie really pushed him. I couldn't really spar with the kid and whatever, but exercise, getting him to do exercises was one thing I was good at, you know. I was really pushing him through it, the kid. I've done my ball stalls, I've done my YPs. I pushed this kid right through it, yeah. Pushed him as hard as I could, you know, and to come and then become so strong. You see the strength. You could see him build up. You could see his shoulders take shape. His arms, biceps, triceps, his deltoids all coming out, and his chest or his pecs, and his legs, you know, his quads and hamstrings, and all the glutes and everything was all like tightening up because he was really working really hard, you know, and his neck. And we used to do lots of neck rolls, yeah, lots of neck rolls, and you know, and push it. We used to get a pad on the wall, and I used to push him from, well, not I used to, Leslie, you could push him to the pad. Neck, and do neck rolls, and then we made a cap up. We didn't buy one, we made one up, you know, with tassels on it, tied the weights around, doing the neck. And you can imagine this kid's, I mean, he's only young. By the time he was what, 14, 15, mate, and he was down at transport. And he went, I think it was 14 when he started down there. You could see the difference. You could see him on the bag. You could see him on the punch ball. You know, you could see him when he was doing his floor workouts. And when he was doing a little bit of sparring, you could see the dedication and determination that he wanted to go somewhere in his life, yeah? And it was fantastic to see that, yeah? And I often think about me and Leslie, we should have done years ago, me and Leslie, we should have opened a club up, a boxing club for these kids, yeah? We should have done it years ago, you know, and, you know, I mean, we both got into gangsterism and villainy and all that sort of thing, and pushed that aside. Then I could become an unlicensed fighter. But I should have got into that a long time ago, into a boxing club with kids. I'm very lucky. I'm very lucky that I've got someone behind me now, Terry, my mate Terry. Terry's got a big garage up there. He's just built, and he's got another garage where he's got about 4 or 5 cars in there, yeah. And it's a bit not derelict. It's together, but it needs cleaning up, yeah, because of the cars being in such a long time. Yeah? He's got other things in there, bits of furniture and stuff, yeah. He's moving it all out, and he's cutting it in half, and he's going to make me a gym in there, yeah. He's going to put my bag in there and all that bag, skipping ropes and bike, you know, and a treadmill and things like that in there, you know what I mean? So I can go in there and have a good workout. And there's lots of kids around this area, and I'm going to start getting the kids get in there and train them, because up here's a great big hill, yeah? Get the kids run up the hill, walking up the hill, get me training. There's massive greenery over here. Get them to do all, you know, what we should do with this kid, and with me, Leslie should do, you know, get her to do all the burpees, the leg thrusts, alternate leg thrusts, you know, star jumps. I mean, come on, press ups, alternate, everything what I should do, yeah. I mean, when I was in the Mount, I done my courses to become an instructor. I looked after the gym for 7 years, you know, in there. So to be an instructor was quite easy for me. I passed it quite easy with flying colours. To become a personal trainer, I didn't really take much notice in that. I should have done. I don't know why I didn't. It was crazy really. But the instructor was enough for me. I would take people every morning around the gym, get them to work out, get them warmed up, you know, do all the stretching, then go into the main gym to get on the weights and take them on the weights and bits and pieces like that. Yeah, but I was full really. When I come out of prison and got put in a hostel, I was walking down to Hanwell from where I was. I was in Broadway in a hostel there, and I passed this gym called Eden's, and it's a great big green hotel, but in the bottom, it's all lit up green. In the bottom is a club called Eden's, and it's a health club, gymnasium health club. It's fantastic and it's very important. It's got everything, but all I want to do is go in there and train, yeah. And I was going every from the hostel. I was going to most mornings going there and train. My mate Tommy Keane, the guy that owns Eden's, give me loads of fridges and stuff, you know, and to sell. And I sold them, and I paid my thing for the gym, yeah. And I was going there most days. And he said to me one day, he came out, he said, listen, he said, I've been watching you train. He said, you train 2 hours non-stop. He said, why don't you take your instructor's courses? I said, look, I am an instructor. I've took all my courses, showed him my papers. He said, do you want a job as an instructor? Like an idiot. I said, nah, not yet. You know, I'm just like a fool. Do you know what I mean? To say no to something like that, you know what I mean? I was crazy. And because I said no, he never asked me again. I was going down all the time, he never asked me again. He just seen me, I was training all the time, help people out as well training, but I never went into the instructor as what I was taught, yeah. And when I sit there sometimes, I used to see these personal trainers. They were useless. These personal trainers was useless, yeah. And it's the same old shit. We had the computers out there, and they was getting like 80, 90 pounds an hour. I swear my life. And they was doing loads of people in the course of a day, you know what I mean? And you could see they had ideas, but the ideas he had was silly ideas, because now you can do a personal trainer, become a personal trainer in a matter of months. I looked after the gym for 7 years, and I was crazy. I should have done it. But I should have done my own gym, really. That's what I should have done. I was a fool. My mate, Gary Francis, had a big gym in Gumsbury Lane called G's Gym, massive gym. My mate, Gary Francis. Gary put a lot of money into that gym, and fantastic. He had everything you could possibly want. Big weights, all the machines, all the cardio stuff, everything. Bikes, rowing machines, everything you name, it was in there. And because the wrong people were getting in there to train, little gangs of people getting in there training, the police come along, told the council, and the council shut it down. And now that gym used to have, I don't know, kids off the street training. Doesn't matter about whatever, these kids were going in there training. They were still training every day, yeah. Maybe every day they had maybe 50 to 100 people in every day training off the streets. Now it's a boxing gym, and it's not even used. It doesn't get used much. Why take that away from kids? Why take something away from kids that are trained every day, come in, and they should train later on, 4, 5, 6 o'clock. It should be open till about 9, 10 o'clock. And my mate Gary Francis put so much into that gym, everything. And when he lost it, I felt sorry for him, mate, because he had a whole container full of his weights, yeah, and machines. He had another container with machines in, yeah. I mean, come on. Why take that away from him, yeah? Why take it away from the kids? Because of police saying there's wrong people going in the gym. So what? There's loads of wrong people go to the gym, mate. You got all these gyms now, you know, they're the same. They're the same. But Gary's gym was one of the best gyms I've ever been in. It was a weights gym, you know, like a proper weights gym. And you had all different places for the cardio, yeah? But you had proper weights, the heavy weights, yeah? Well, people love it, you know. But anyway, this is, you know, this is Bang Bang Mayhill. It's just, you know, kids. Anyway, have a nice day and lovely. Bye-bye, later.